Welcome everybody to yet another SNC 2024 stream, and we are just minutes away from the beginning of the second semi-final of Division 1, contested between PNE Blue and FKX Platinum. The players are still to arrive at the server. When they do, we will explain at length again what the map pack is. We'll introduce both of these teams, the expectations for them going into this match, and obviously we are going to prepare for an incredibly high-level clash. Those of you already tuning in to Power Rangers versus Storm Chasers obviously treated to a spectacle already. Hopefully this will be another one, two instant NASCAR classics taking place on the same evening. As it happens, these are not the only two matches being played tonight. Through Ronish's stream and some other people, you will also be able to catch, I believe it is PNE Orange versus... Just going to very quickly check. PNE Orange versus Space NASCAR Cowboys is also happening now, as is Giga Fruits versus FKX Lightning and Fake Taxi versus BG. So plenty of things to watch on a lovely Sunday evening. And we're waiting for the players to arrive here before we really begin explaining at length what makes this such an interesting clash. This is the number 1 team, PNE Blue, versus the number 4 ranked team in Division 1 in FKX Platinum. We avoided another PNE clan war as FKX Platinum actually eliminated PNE Orange from Division 1 by just 1 point in the qualifying events, with all 5 of their members contributing in a significant way to the best ever result for an FKX team in the Spring NASCAR Cup. And here they are hoping to continue their miracle run against all odds, but this is the hardest challenge they've faced yet, as before them stands PNE Blue, one of the strongest teams of the tournament, one of the favorites to win the tournament as a whole, and in general, a team with no weaknesses whatsoever. Much like Power Rangers, a team that is fearsome from head to toe, a team that will not be caught lacking and off guard easily. FKX Platinum will have to show their best if they hope to survive this clash and if they hope to have a serious chance of winning it, but as we've seen yesterday in the Division 4 match between NRT Cyan and Space NASCAR Cowboys, it is entirely possible for teams to make spectacular comebacks middle of the map, and we're hoping to see a little bit of the same. As tonight we will definitely have an underdog and a favorite, but the underdog has already overperformed to get there, and there is no telling when their overperformance will come to an end. Hopefully tonight they came fired up, ready to play, ready to show the full extent of their impressive skills on this map pack. And it is definitely a map pack to remember, as all of the maps here, very easy to learn, very hard to master, and tonight we will see Division 1 players executing to their fullest potential on these difficult, challenging maps. The map pack itself needs no introduction. If you've been watching the stream yesterday, you are already aware of it, but it is worth mentioning again that the map pack for this week consists of Back to the Source by Truo, a challenging flat map with some very unorthodox timings. We saw Supersonic yesterday perform at a very high level, and we will see today how the players actually handle that one, whether they choose to risk a little bit more, what the peak pace we're going to see is. After that, we have Voyager by Dopamine, another very interesting map, the one you're seeing in front of you right here. Again, apart from a very interesting platform section followed by a jump that killed some Division 4 players yesterday, nothing the players should be unfamiliar with, but plenty for them to be uncomfortable with. Maybe we will see some players not really get the best handle on this map. Maybe we will see them give up a little bit of pace. Maybe we can expect some very interesting action here indeed. Followed by Submersia by Vamos de Car, in my opinion, the decisive map on this entire map pack. Incredibly easy to learn, but incredibly hard to master. To drive this map at an elite level, the level that we can expect from Division 1 players, requires an incredible amount of risk with the outside Rammsteins, and I'm very much looking forward to see whether FKX Platinum are going to try to decisively attack on this map. It will be very interesting if they take this high risk, high reward map and try to risk everything in order to catch up to PNE Blue. Very interesting to see what the peak pace of the players is going to be. The final map, Pilgrimage by Ronig. A map with a high emphasis on banked corner technique. Definitely a map where you simply need to have the mastery of the requisite corners and not a lot of improvisation on that particular map. Just a simple skill check to cap off the evening. As we are only minutes away from the beginning of a spectacular Division 1 match. As you can see, the players, even in the warm-up, so closely matched. What you're gonna see here today is going to be an absolute bloodbath, as FKX have something to prove. They want to prove that reaching top 4 was not a fluke. They want to prove that reaching top 4 is just the beginning for this incredibly talented roster. PNE Blue want to prove that there is a reason they finished #1 in the qualification events. They want to prove their status as favorites, and they want to prove that there is still a very big difference between the very top of NASCAR and people just one tier below. The players are connecting to the server. It will not be long before warm-ups will begin. And we will be treated to an absolute spectacle. Thank you to everyone who has joined. I hope I'll be able to present this match to the fullest for you. Get something to snack on and get ready for some mind-blowing high-level NASCAR action. As I think we almost have everybody we need on the server. I believe all 4 members of PNE Blue are present, and I believe that almost everyone from FKX Platinum is also with us here. And we will see how this goes. Is just one quick second for me to check something. And yes, I believe the players will be moving on to the first map of the competitive evening, which will be Back to the Source by Truo. A very challenging flat map that took some souls yesterday. Definitely challenged the players in Division 4 a lot, and we only really saw Supersonic put up an elite pace with Daddy Records. But I think these players are going to show a very even match, a very even level, and it's very interesting to see how much risk they choose to take with some of these unorthodox corners. The release timings might not be so obvious on a flat map like that. Definitely a little bit of trickery will be needed alongside each player's prodigal skill to make it work on that particular map. The players will move there, and I believe we will be beginning warm-ups because I think everybody is on the server, so just a couple of minutes are separating us from the beginning of the second semi-final of Division 1. Obviously, the first one, Power Rangers versus Storm Chasers, already in progress on Ramavic stream. And I believe this is the last player of FKX Platinum, so we will be ready to go any moment now. Good luck, Lucky Shot. I hope you came prepared to show us your best self. Your caster's just going to take this last minute to rest his voice, take a little bit of a break before the action begins, because when it begins between these two teams, I don't think it's going to stop very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. We are ready to begin. The players We'll be skipping to the next map in a minute. They will get their 2 warm-ups, and after that, the time for preparation is over and the time for action is now. There will be 2 warm-ups on the first map, and we will also take a ride along with the players on the map to try to explain what makes the first map, Back to the Source by Chuo, so challenging. We will try to really understand what the players will be facing on this first map, because they have a formidable challenge in front of themselves. This flat map will be understandable to many instinctively, but the corners really require a high-level understanding of when to release, how much to release, because remember, this is Division 1. There is no room for safe driving anymore. All players have to showcase elite pace if they want to stay competitive. And as it stands, that is going to be quite a significant challenge, so we will be tuning in to the players as they take this opportunity to warm up. We're going to go take a look at Panda. First corner of the map, nothing to say, but immediately, this 270 requires you to release accurately in order to take the biggest amount of speed out of it. The outside Ramstein, always a risk, followed by a very interesting little transition where you need to take enough space to be able to take this 180 with minimum loss of speed. This little transition here, again, needs to be expertly navigated to not lose any speed through the 180, followed by another interesting transition into this series of S-bends, where you really need to carry the maximum of speed into lap number 2, because there is not a significant opportunity to gain a lot of speed in the beginning of the lap, only to lose it. As you see here, Panda and Yuki navigating these corners with expertise, with care, and they will need every bit of it, because this map will claim your soul if you're unprepared. One miss, and as Panda demonstrates, you will be in the wall. One slip of concentration, you will be losing your team the round. As a reminder to everybody, this is a free versus free. Not a whole lot of teammates to bail you out, and in Division 1, every player is elite. Every player is ready to play at the highest possible level of NASCAR, and you'd best believe that a flat map like this, there are so many players on FKX Platinum who are experts at this kind of style, who are able to unleash absolute peak potential on flat maps. And PNE Blue need to get off to a good start if they want to stem the tide, because if FKX Platinum get a good start, there's no telling what might happen in this match. The underdog can absolutely win this one. Casper, Lucky Shot, Goro, Yuki, even Kanzaka, these are all players that have been born and raised on flat maps. Their talent on this type of map style known for years. For some players since their debut in NRG, for some of them since their time with FKX. FKX's main weakness so far in the years between has been consistency, but this year they've stepped up their consistency massively, and in the qualifying events they took 4th place away from PNE Orange, and as Casper demonstrates, those willing to risk can be rewarded or punished on this map. As risking a lot will gain you a lot of speed, which you can use to snipe a crucial point, but it will also send you into the wall, losing your team the round. A very fine line for the players to navigate. The maximum of their skill will be required, and they are still yet to be warmed up. And this has to be mentioned, this map is incredibly challenging to begin with. Look at this. Kez demonstrating, now under the nickname of Plastrex, demonstrating for us that there's just so much room for error here, and there is so much room to accidentally clip the inside and outside Ramstein. The warm-ups are over, ladies and gentlemen. Division 1, Semifinal 2, PNE Blue versus FKX Platinum. Number 1 versus number 4 in the qualifying events. It all begins now, and we will see what the pace of the players is. We will see what the teams have picked for their rosters, as it seems like my points panel is a little bit bugged for some reason, but it doesn't matter. We will very quickly see who's playing. It will be Goro, Lucky Shot, and Yuki, 3 incredibly good flat map players on the side of FKX Platinum, and representing PNE Blue, it is Panda, Kez, and Aircroll. A formidable roster if there ever was one, and look at this. Almost nothing to separate the players, but I think a PNE player makes the first mistake. I think that was Kez sliding out, and Lucky Shot's actually leading while Goro is competing with Panda, and now Yuki surges into the lead. Look at this. PNE, what's going on? In fact, FKX Platinum are the ones who have a significant advantage heading into lap number 2, but now Yuki makes a little bit of a mistake. It's going to cost him a bit of pace, but Goro and Lucky Shot, look at this. Look at the pace they are putting forward. Consistency unrivaled, not even Panda's able to approach them. They're lapping 3/10 of a second, and now Yuki, recovering from his risk. FKX Platinum are going to ace PNE Blue on round number 1 unless Panda has something to say about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the shocks begin early and very fast tonight. Goro will make a mistake. The ace will not happen, but the round is for FKX Platinum. They will take the first point of the evening over PNE Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. I want to point this out. 110.8 from Lucky Shot, 110.9 from Yuki. Immediately, high level pace from the players. This is exactly what they're capable of, and they're not afraid to take the battle to PNE. That was almost a deadly level time. But interestingly enough, Supersonic yesterday was actually also doing 110.8, 110.9. He was putting up a Division 1 worthy performance, as it seems. We'll see if PNE Blue just taking some time to get warmed up and whether they'll resume dominating, or whether FKX Platinum have actually assembled a roster capable of destroying PNE Blue on this map. Now Goro will fail the first transition, giving PNE Blue an opportunity to score as Panda and Plusrex are in the lead, but look at this. Yuki, fearless, taking lots of speed out of these S-Pens, and look at how close you are to the outside wall. Look at how much you're risking to stay, and Lucky Shot will fall prey to that risk. He will be out of the round very quickly, and PNE Blue are in a prime position to score, as Aircroll is actually the one holding the reins for now. Players doing their utmost to keep themselves in, but FKX Platinum make 2 mistakes, and although Kez will make a mistake himself, I don't think it's a big enough one to regain the round, as Panda is securely in the lead. And Yuki, oh no, a crash at the end, and it is an ace for PNE Blue. Immediate response, immediate equalization, and Panda in a 110.49 immediately, putting up a, I believe, Daddy 20 level time on the board. Very impressive pace to begin with, and it is all equal between the teams. FKX Platinum taking the opportunity from PNE Blue on round number 1, but they are not able to replicate that in round number 2, as several mistakes put them out of contention. In round number 3, they will be looking to stay consistent, because I think what FKX Platinum need to realize is that their pace is more than capable of matching PNE Blue at their peak. The question is simply whether they will survive to the end of the round if they try to unlock all of that pace. Goro surging forward, Lucky Shot and Yuki very close. They navigate the S's expertly. Goro has to release, and the punishment in terms of pace is severe, as now Plusrex and Aircroll are regaining the lead. But Lucky Shot, the pride of energy and now the pride of FKX Platinum, actually surges forward into the lead, and this round everything to play for. FKX Platinum with a good opportunity to score. Depending on what happens, this is where the players have to balance risk and reward expertly. They now have to risk in order to get their team the necessary points to keep it in the round. Otherwise, there might not be anything to play for. Panda is dead last on pure pace, a praise I'd never expect to be saying, as actually I think FKX Platinum might have a good opportunity to score, but no! Lucky Shot with a mistake in the end, then Aircroll snipes Yuki. It will be a red round in the end. Very unfortunate. Lucky Shot had the opportunity to secure the round for FKX Platinum, but it is not to be. PNE Blue will take a 2-1 lead. Nothing's over until it's over on this map. In the very last corner, you can lose everything that you've been building up to. The nerves, the pressure incredibly high, as the FKX players are, for the first time, competing in the highest division of the SNC. For the first time, they are competing in a top 4 match. They have to make those nerves subside, and they have to show their best selves right now, because their best selves are good enough to compete with PNE Blue. But only their best selves. Anything less will not do against the number 1 ranked team out of the qualifying events. Aircroll and Plusrex now surging into the lead, and Panda again, it seems like he's playing deliberately, very safely. He showed the peak pace out of everyone with his 110.49, but he doesn't seem to be going for it very often. Lucky Shot slightly too inside, Yuki slightly too outside, both of them missing the mark, and they will drop out. And Panda, look at this, expertly navigating the lines. Look at this, he lost 1/10 to Daddy 1 just because he was slightly more safe. Just a little bit, enough to make it happen. Lucky Shot's nowhere. I believe he had to respawn very quickly, and this round is very quickly sleeping from FKX Platinum, who are beginning to understand now that this simply isn't going to cut it. Aircrawl, however, opens up an opportunity with a mistake. If Panda and X actually lose the position to Goro, if they make a mistake in the end, this round could still be redeemable. And look at the amount of risk Goro's taking. He will survive and put down a very respectable 110.6, but I don't think it'll matter. X and Panda in very, very competitive times. 110.5, 110.7, all deadies. And PNE Blue will take a third round as Lucky Shot again, finishing last in 2 consecutive rounds. Lucky Shot with a competitive pace himself, it needs to be said, a 110.8 is personal best, but again, at Division 1 level, pace isn't enough. Consistency is required, and consistency seems to be the undoing of FKX Platinum right now. They need to brush this off, they need to shrug it off, they need to start putting up points on the board, they need to unlock the peak of their consistency, because the pace is there, but they have to reliably be delivering these results or PNE Blue will run them over. No more mercy, no more opportunity to take mistakes from other players for your benefit. This is now a pure team versus team battle, and with such a formidable roster in PNE Blue, with no weak players whatsoever, FKX Platinum have to be playing at a 100% to make something happen, and Yuki is now going at 100%, only 1.5 of a second behind Daddy 1, putting up an incredible pace which sees him take the lead of the round, risking everything on that outside Rammstein, but his risk has been rewarded so far as he's able to keep up with the rest of the players, and Lucky Shot and Goro are keeping this together. This is an FKX Platinum round as it stands. This is entirely possible unless Aircrawl can play spoiler at the back. Kez risking a lot opens up the opportunity for Lucky Shot. Both PNE Blue players are actually quite slow, and Lucky Shot is navigating the S's expertly, but he does have to release, meaning Plustrix and Panda will finish, but I think this is a blue round, that it is. Point FKX Platinum. What a competitive round, and look at what Yuki has done. 110.44. That is the fastest round we've seen thus far from an FKX Platinum player. The pace is absolutely there. FKX Platinum have 5 or 6 of the top 12 runs right now, but what they need is to deliver this on a round-by-round basis. They have the power in their roster to take points from PNE Blue reliably on a flat map like this, but they have to be playing at 100%. They have to take advantage of the fact that Kez Panda have not been playing up to 100% of their possible level, and so far they've done a good job. They are within 1 point, and this is their opportunity to equalize, to stop PNE Blue from running away with it all. Let's see how it's going for the players. Yuki makes a significant mistake, but Goro is charging forward into the lead. Goro and Lucky Shot can still absolutely play spoiler since X, aka Kez, quite a little bit further away, risking that outside Rammstein. FKX Platinum down a player right now as Yuki is nowhere to be found, but currently they have the pace to compete. Lucky Shot taking so much speed out of this corner, but he doesn't take this 180 optimally. He does have a lot of speed at the exit here. Can he possibly take it through the S's? Very narrow corners. Release timing must be perfect in order to take a lot of speed through it, and it isn't. Instead, it is Kez who snipes him. And although Goro finishes at the same millisecond as Panda, Panda will take the 6 points, and it is PNE Blue in their 4th round. 110.49, a spectacular round time. This is Daddy 15, Daddy 20 level as consistent pace. Ladies and gentlemen, what the players are doing right here, absolutely unbelievable. Let's take a look at the points tally for now. Panda leading with a 27 points, followed by X with 23, but Yuki with a respectable 21 points, and Aircrawl has made an early mistake. Now into round number 7 we go, and FKX Platinum have an excellent opportunity to score because Aircrawl touches the Rammstein, and has a bit of a Rammstein bug at the beginning, which will put him 1.5 seconds behind. If FKX Platinum can drive a consistent round, this is their opportunity to keep PNE Blue honest. This is their opportunity to not allow PNE Blue to take away 3 points, and all 3 players are competitive. All 3 players are ready, but Lucky Shot now losing a little bit of pace, and so far X and Panda, heroic defense to keep it together despite Aircrawl dropping away early, but Goro will play spoiler. Goro has incredible pace in hand. He's been having incredible pace all tournament. Interviews with FKX Platinum, they all hailed Goro as their star player, and he is delivering to the promise of being their star player right now, because he is putting up the kind of pace that you could see in the SNC Grand Final. He is absolutely storming right now, keeping Panda and Plasterx honest. Legends of NASCAR being kept within 1/10 of a second. Goro now preparing to take the S's. He needs to overtake at least one of them to take this round, or it won't happen. But unfortunately, Plasterx has the pace in hand, and Panda equaling Yuki's fastest round. And unfortunately, PNE Blue will defend themselves. The one can finish, sparing Aircrawl's mistake in the end. And it is now I believe 5-2 in favor of PNE Blue, and it is. But these rounds are very close. But so far, Panda Star Power shining bright, putting up 33 points for his team, 5 better than Kez, and 9 better than any FKX player, while Lucky Shot is at the bottom, but still keeping Aircrawl quite honest. It's just that Yuki and Goro will need to do a little bit more in the points tally if they want to secure these rounds. PNE Blue is the #1 ranked team. This is the hardest match you could possibly ask for at the beginning of it all. And FKX Platinum have had a valiant effort. The pace is there, but unfortunately the consistency, not so far. But it is never too late to begin a comeback. The best time is now. Goro will definitely not be beginning it now because he has to release, and while he protects the round, he doesn't have the pace in hand to keep up with the top anymore. Save for Yuki. It is a valiant save, but in Division 1, valiant saves are not enough. You have to drive perfect from start to finish, and so far, Lucky Shot, the only player from that team, able to keep up with that promise. Plasterx reading Aircrawl and Panda stable as ever, looking to keep it together, looking to keep it nice and clean, to not allow FKX any leeway, potentially even to secure the ace. The enter DS as Yuki is now dropping behind, the last corner taken, very stable, nothing to be done here. Ace PNE Blue, and map point PNE Blue. And ladies and gentlemen, it needs to be said, look at the peak pace of these players. 110.4, 110.5, 110.5, 110.4, 110.4, 110.8. Each and every single player on this server is delivering at an elite level, at a Daddy 15 level in consistent rounds mode. What is deciding it is just how long you can sustain this elite level pace for. Each of these players is amazing. Each of these players could single-handedly carry matches in lower divisions. But this is not what's being asked of you right now. What's being asked of you is to show that you are a star, that you can do 110%, 110% of the time. And so far, PNE Blue has responded to that challenge a little bit better than FKX Platinum. They have been consistently better when it comes to scoring these high position finishes. They have put up more consistency, and now Panda and Plasterx, they want to show absolutely no mercy to their opponents. They want to eliminate them here and now. They want to send map 1 packing, end it as quickly as possible to move on to map number 2 to try to keep the pain coming. Because it has been a while since FKX Platinum have scored their latest point, and oh my lord, 110.3, 110.3, Plasterx and Panda, this is over. PNE Blue 7, FKX Platinum 2, map number 1 is over. And what Panda and Plasterx have done here, this is above Daddy 15, this is almost a Daddy 10 time, this is only 2.5 of a second away from Daddy 1. This is an incredible performance, showing exactly why they are the #1 team coming out of the qualifying events. They are looking like their path to the finals is just a formality, but needs to be said, FKX Platinum, a lot of pace in hand. They did punish the mistakes by PNE, but in the end, if you look at the points total, Panda 42, Kez 40, Aircrawl 29, 3 PNE players equal or better than FKX players in terms of the points tally. It wasn't that close. And we're heading to map number 2, which is Voyager by Dopamine. And this is a map where FKX Platinum can shake it up a little bit. This is a map where a little bit of a surprise is possible. We saw it yesterday with NRT Cyan. NRT Cyan lost 8 consecutive rounds heading into this map and in the first 2 rounds of this map. And then they won 7 in a row to win the map against Slow Noobs Cruising. And maybe the same thing will happen here. Maybe here, FKX Platinum are able to make a comeback happen. Maybe a PNE Blue player is not super comfortable with this map. Maybe some of the more interesting elements on this map will be troublesome for the PNE players. And FKX Platinum, they have to begin their counterattack here and now, or they will be facing an insurmountable advantage heading into map number 3, which I believe all players of PNE will be very good at. If there is ever an opportunity for FKX Platinum to strike back, this is it. This is the time, this is the place. The Daddy spread on this map 1.2 seconds, as Devil sets an incredibly powerful 123.23. The Daddy 1 is the only time to beat Dopamine's offer time. The only person to beat Dopamine's offer time. The rest of the players not that close. The fastest Daddy of all players in this match is Spider with Daddy 4 in 123.5, followed by Plaster X, Daddy 8, Aircroll Daddy 13. And Panda also with a 123.8. The FKX Platinum players slightly lower in the pecking order. So in terms of peak pace, PNE has the advantage, but this map is not about peak pace. This map is just about survival. This map is about not committing any mistakes while taking the maximum of speed throughout the entirety of it. This map is about taking a great risk in order to give your team the greatest reward, but you can also risk flying out, as we saw many times yesterday. One more warm-up for FKX Platinum to devise an attack strategy. If there is something that they can take from the first map, it's that they do have elite level pace in hand. But this time they have to be making that elite level pace count round after round, or it simply will not be enough. It will not be enough. And PNE Blue have to keep it stable. They have to keep their star consistency and star pace in hand. And if they do well on this map, then maybe their path towards the finals will be clear immediately after map number 2. It remains to be seen. This map is the wild card of the evening. With this little jump into a platform section with an interesting 270. So much opportunity to risk, so much opportunity to take a wider line, to take a lot of speed, but potentially risk crashing out or not making the follow-up turn. So many places where players can take opportunities. FKX Platinum will need to take every opportunity they can. They are facing a 5-point disadvantage. As a reminder to everybody, as a reminder to those just tuning in after map number 1, PNE Blue have a 7-2 lead, but FKX Platinum had the pace. What they did not have is the ability to drive at that pace super consistently. We watch Spider and Plastrex navigating this super difficult map. Look at this 270. Look at the pace of the Daddies compared to the offer time by Dopamine. The offer time that we watched at the end of the qualifying event, where Dopamine literally took up every available chunk of road, almost touching rear wheels with the outside Ramsteins in order to drive at a 123.2 pace. The amount of risk it is possible to take can barely be put into words. And we will see who the teams have chosen to represent them on map number 2. The warm-up is coming to an end in 15 seconds. We begin with Voyager by Dopamine. We will see how this semi-final continues to evolve, as Anda seems to be going into Spectator mode. Will not be playing on map number 2. This means that the PNE Blue lineup should be Spider, Aircroll, and Kez. But what I'm really interested in is seeing who will compete on behalf of FKX Platinum on this map number 2. We are underway. Unfortunately, the scoreboard's still a little bit buggy, very difficult to spectate the players, but we'll do our best to keep up with them, to keep up with the super high level of action demonstrated. Let's see who is on the server. And it is Kez, Spider, Aircroll versus Lucky Shot, Yuki, and Goro. So FKX Platinum do not make a substitution in the lineup for map number 2. PNE Blue substitute Panda out and Spider in. Spider, and a legend in his own right. A master of speed and consistency in equal measure. He will be a very, very calming presence for PNE Blue. A very strong player for FKX Platinum to contend with, but I don't think FKX Platinum can hear me because they are not afraid whatsoever. Lucky Shot and Goro leading now into lap number 2, and Yuki in 4th place. This is the opportunity that they've been waiting for. Again, they have the opportunity to take the first point on this map, and as we saw, this map lets you rack up a lot of streaks. This is the opportunity for them to make a comeback happen, because I don't think PNE Blue are competitive in this round. Look at the consistency between the three players of FKX Platinum. Kez the only one trying to play spoiler right now, but neither Aircall nor Spider dare to compete. I believe Spider might have even flown off into transition, and FKX Platinum have a free point in them. Nothing left to risk on in these final corners. They should be able to safely see these through to the finish line. Aircall not there on pace, and Kez not able to compete. This is an incredible round, and FKX Platinum will easily take this one in hand. Taking the first point on both maps so far. And Spider, unfortunately, with a very significant error, this will lose his team this round. But as we saw on map number 1, PNE Blue, a team capable of rebounding at the slightest mistake. FKX Platinum need to keep this consistency up. All 3 players on their team with a time better than Daddy 30. Some of them almost Daddy 20 level. This is something they have to keep doing if they want to begin their comeback in earnest, because they are trailing quite significantly. The overall score now 3-7, as PNE Blue took a significant advantage on the first map. And if FKX Platinum can now pair the pace that they seem to have on every map with consistency, it'll be great. Aircrawl, huge mistake. And look at this again, Yuki and Goro in the lead. FKX Platinum might be looking at a second round on the trot, as Aircrawl will not be able to return to this one in any significant capacity. Spider now has to make something happen, or it will not be good for his team. Kez thankfully retains the lead. As long as he is in the lead, this is still possible for PNE Blue, but Spider now has to begin the offensive drive of the century. He needs to put a lot of pace in hand, he needs to risk everything, and he needs to catch up to Yuki and Goro. 2 players who are incredibly fast in their own right. And look at the line he's taking into 270, very aggressive. He will take so much curve on the outside, but I don't think he has more speed heading into the second half of the lap. Unless they make a mistake in front of him, I don't think he's going to be catching up. He will maybe overtake Goro if he keeps up this pace, but Yuki still safe so far. Goro drops away, and Spider has more pace. He can still make the snipe happen, the snipe that they need in order to regain this round. Yuki with a very risky line, but he'll reach the finish line in time, and I think FKX Platinum have done just enough to protect themselves in this one. Actually, no, I am lying. If Aircrawl actually finishes the round, it will be PNE Blue to reclaim it, as Spider manages to overtake Goro thanks to a mistake, and Lucky Shot making a small mistake as well. And if you look at this, only the best players able to keep up at a Daddy level pace, the rest of them making mistakes that put them 1 to 2 seconds behind. The overall pace on this map not as high as on the first one. This is a very difficult map. A map where, again, the risk-reward balance needs to be evaluated every single round. FKX are going to try to risk a lot because they are trailing PNE Blue, because they realize that they are the underdog. They have to do it, but whether they can handle this pressure is yet to be seen. They've done well at the beginning of both maps, but they haven't done so well in the continuation. But I think that Aircrawl might have made a very significant mistake in the back of it all, and indeed he has. So again, FKX Platinum have a 3-2 advantage at the lead of the field, and Yuki and Goro have elite level pace in hand to try to rebound right here. But Spider not giving them much of a chance. Where is Lucky Shot? We need to find where he is. He's a little bit further away, and Yuki, unfortunately, that's a land bug. He didn't actually stabilize with an air brake. This will cost him valuable pace, and now it is Kez and Spider who actually are pursuing Goro aggressively. Goro needs to make a defensive drive of a century happen to keep these 2 star players behind them, as they will give him no mercy. No chance to make a mistake. The horns are blaring behind him. This is incredible pressure, and unfortunately, he's not able to cope with the pressure. And if Spider and Poster X finish 1-2, this will again be a PNE Blue round, despite Aircrawl's lower consistency on this map. Their top level players able to bring it home thanks to minor mistakes by all 3 FKX Platinum players. Again, they are unable to convert on a 3 versus 2 advantage 2 rounds in a row. PNE Blue will not let you get too many of these opportunities, and they will punish you if you give them the same. incredibly challenging opponent to face at the best of times. And even though Aircroll has a bad start to this map with 4 points, even though Yuki, Lucky Shot, and Goro have actually kept Spider honest, and it is only Kez who has 16 points, the points balance just not working out for them. Yes, they're putting points on the board, but they're not putting top level finishes on the board. And even though the pace between the players, the peak pace is very consistent. Look at this, 123.9, 124.0, 123.9, 124.1. It is PNE Blue who are able to bring that pace to the top level way more often, and this is what is enabling them to score more points. Lucky Shot now with a mistake, but I think Spider also made a huge mistake. So overall advantage still to FKX Platinum. Do they have the players in the lead of the race to make this happen? It is now a 4-way battle. Kez and Aircroll versus Yuki and Goro. They have to give everything. FKX Platinum have an opportunity. Lucky Shot will finish ahead of Spider because Spider made a more significant mistake. They need to find an equalizing point, or they need to find it quickly, or PNE Blue will be running away with this map, and if they run away with this map, they'll run away with the match. And although Aircroll makes a mistake, so does Goro, and unfortunately, FKX Platinum's hopes unravel. The first major caster curse of the evening. Kez is dashing forward into the lead with an elite time, and Aircroll makes the smallest mistake out of all 3 players. 4 major mistakes on this one that cost their players more than a second. Kez will reach the finish line in a 124.1. Aircroll will secure 2nd place, and with that, the round will go the way of PNE Blue, as Lucky Shot, with a significant mistake, may not reach the finish line at all, or will reach it dead last. Decides to make a bit of a stunt. He might turtle into the finish line, but to no avail. PNE Blue raced to a 3rd point on this map, and now the overall lead is beginning to improve. 10-3 now, PNE Blue. And Aircroll very quickly, as you can see with this performance, now he's at 9 points despite his terrible start, and already he's just 6 points below 2nd place, absolutely able to catch up. 22 points, however, for Kez. This man is showing a vintage performance, reminds everybody why he is a player who was actually very close with Doppelmayr in several individual matches of the Primetime Cup, one of the strongest individual players in NASCAR as we know it. One of the big names to look out for in PNE Blue, but PNE Blue have lost Spider. And now it is FKX Platinum again with the opportunity of a lifetime. Both Aircroll and Spider are out. Kez is defending alone against 3 players of FKX Platinum. This is their best opportunity to score. This is the only opportunity they might receive like this. It is a 3 versus 1 at the top of the field. Kez currently holds on to 1st place, but 1st place will not matter if they manage to secure a 2-3-4 finish. They need to understand the situation they're in. They need to play safe. They need to realize Aircroll is not in a position to compete. Spider is not in a position to compete. This is where FKX need to show their maturity. This is where they need to take these 3 points. It has been a weakness of theirs in the past, but they need to not repeat that. They need to show us exactly why they've grown so much. I think that's a bit of a slightly outside Ramstein touch for Yuki that might actually lose him the position compared to Aircroll. That might still be a mistake that comes back to haunt them. Placerex fastest so far at a 123.7, fastest round we've seen so far. And it is Aircroll who snipes Yuki. And now it is a question of what happens. I think just barely it is still a red round because your streamer is blind. It is a blue round. FKX Platinum do manage to secure it in the end, but that was still quite hairy. Apologies indeed. Very difficult to keep track of the action at the highest level. The excitement leaving me speechless. And FKX Platinum keeping it competitive on this map, keeping PNE Blue to within 1 point on this one, but what FKX Platinum need to be doing is winning the map outright because they are facing a significant deficit from the first map. As a reminder to everybody, the overall score right now 10-4 in favor of PNE Blue. So FKX Platinum need to continue the pace that I've shown. And Goro and Yuki, they're looking real good at the start of round number 6. But Spider, Kez, and Aircroll, a fearsome 3-man roster if ever I've seen one. Not going to let them walk away with this easily, and Lucky Shot is slightly further off from the pack, which means that Yuki and Goro now have to fight an incredible defensive battle against all of the players of PNE Blue, making a coordinated attack on them. They have to do something very special to keep hold of these positions. And that was a very good 270 line from Kez. He will take so much speed, and so will Spider. Goro will lose hundreds of a second, but so precious hundreds of a second, but it is Spider now who makes a mistake. FKX Platinum in prime position to take this point away. In prime position. Yuki has the speed. Yuki will be overtaking Kez. Yuki needs to keep it together. One final corner. Needs to complete his snipe of Kez to secure the round for his team. He won't be able to, but Lucky Shot might be able to anchor it in the back, and it is an equalizing third round for FKX Platinum. 123.9 for Goro, the best any FKX player has done so far, and first 123 for them. Very well done. The players moving forward, and now look at what has happened on this map. Aircrow and Spider in joint last place in points with 15 points. Now all three FKX players putting up 17, 20, 26 respectively. And even though Kez's star performance continues unmitigated, FKX Platinum are now finding the necessary consistency to take points reliably, and now they have to keep winning. They have to take this map by a big margin in order to equalize. If PNE Blue are able to take a couple more points, they will still retain the lead. Yuki now with a significant mistake. The spectator curse is happening, but I think Spider made an even bigger mistake. This is still anybody's round to take. Goro will make a small mistake, but I think it is actually FKX Platinum who are in the best position to score right now. Hard to say what's going to happen with this round. They have positions 2, 3, and 5. With positions 2, 3, and 5, they can absolutely take the round. Aircrow and Yuki, a battle that Aircrow needs to win. I think that no matter what happens, unless a significant mistake happens, Yuki flirting with disaster but keeping it together, and it is actually Kez who has made a mistake up front, which now means FKX players are taking the top 2 positions. And look at this! FKX Platinum are going to regain the lead of this map because they have won 3 consecutive rounds now. They will be winning 3 consecutive rounds. Goro, incredible pace in hand. He's going to put in a 124.4. Lots of mistakes this round, but more importantly, lots of PNE Blue mistakes. And it is actually FKX Platinum who takes the lead of the map. Look at this. It's happening again. Yesterday in Division 4, NRT Cyan came back from losing 8 consecutive rounds to winning 7 consecutive rounds on this map. Because on this map, it is so hard to regain your focus. So easy to make these repeated mistakes. And players have to do something. They have to do something. And PNE Blue, they have to stabilize, or very quickly they may find that the lead that they've accumulated can slip away. FKX Platinum have shown already in this tournament they're not a team to be underestimated. And if PNE Blue let them keep getting away with this, they may also end up facing stiff competition, because on the other stream, as I'm hearing in chat, 15-15, a draw between Power Rangers and Storm Chasers. I'm sure nobody had that in their bingo card at the beginning of the evening, but both of these matches could be very close. But this time, unfortunately, it is an FKX player who makes a mistake, and it is actually Lucky Shot who will be out of the round at the beginning of it, and PNE have a very significant advantage now heading into lap number 2. If they do not make a significant mistake, they will stabilize and equalize the map. Goro defending, Yuki defending, but Yuki would have to make a miracle happen in order to save this round for his team. Yet to be seen what's going to happen. Can they possibly make it happen? Goro still defending first position. Look at the pace of this man. He's driving like a man possessed. Spider will be overtaken. Aircrow will be overtaken. And what is happening right now? Can Yuki possibly make the miracle happen to keep it an FKX Platinum round despite Lucky Shot's mistake? Can this possibly be happening, ladies and gentlemen? I think PNE have done just enough. But what Yuki did there at the end, incredible. We're equal on map number 2, 4-4 between the teams, and the overall score is a reminder to everyone, 11-6 in favor of PNE Blue, who won map number 1, 7-2. So 7-2 on the first map, but this second one has been much, much closer. The score is currently 11-6 in favor of PNE Blue. I will obviously repeat the score at the end of every map, so don't worry about it. We might not have a scoreboard, but I will keep track for you. But what we need to keep track of right now is this map. And unfortunately, Spectator Curse comes in clutch. But wait a minute, Yuki didn't make a mistake, but so did Aircrow. If Aircrow makes a second mistake, this round could still be everything to play for. And Lucky Shot and Goro are now fighting a offensive battle. They have to overtake Spider and Kez. If there were ever a difficult challenge, this would be one of them, but Spider does have to release, and Lucky Shot, He is clawing back a little bit of time. The problem is that I don't think Goro is clawing back enough time. He is half a second behind. Yet to be seen what's going to happen. Look at the level on display right here. Spider and Kez once again returning to the top of the field. Not giving up much, but now Spider has released. Look at this. Is this the late round comeback? I think Lucky Shot might have caught a loop bug. And unfortunately, I think that also might dash the hopes of FKX Platinum. They might have been in a position to score, but Kez will finish at a 123.71. The fastest round we've seen thus far, and it is a red round. Once again, PNE Blue regained the lead of this map to complement their overall lead. But it is a map absolutely filled with mistakes. If FKX Platinum could just be a little bit more consistent, you'd think that with the pace they've shown, they would be able to take even more points. Not to happen though, and look at this, I need to say this. Aircrawl Spider, 24 points, 22 points, not having the best show. But Kez with 47 points, what a carry performance. What a carry performance for PNE Blue. So far, he's been keeping them underwater because look at this, 42, 27, 26. Goro with an incredible carry performance. And Yuki and Lucky Shot have been able to deliver the consistent finishes that their team needs. The problem is that it just isn't enough. In the end, the mistakes still come out looking in favor of PNE Blue, just like it did on map 1. And although 4 points is very respectable, FKX Platinum, they needed a little bit more. And they need every point they can muster to keep this match equal. Spider, however, will be sliding out. If there were ever an opportunity, this might just be the one. Where is Lucky Shot? I see him, and FKX Platinum, still possible for them to regain a footing in this round. Yuki flirting with disaster as he caught the outside Ramstein, and that was almost a loop bug. But Lucky Shot and Yuki, so far, Plasterex and Aircrawl safely defending their positions. This will not be a blue round unless Aircrawl makes a mistake. Aircrawl now fighting a critical defensive battle. Has to be incredibly consistent for his team. Has to keep it together, but he is losing pace. Yuki's gaining pace. Yuki's gaining on him. Everything to play for, only one overtake. Just a little bit of a mistake by Aircrawl. He doesn't have as much pace heading into the final turn. If Yuki risks everything, if Yuki has a little bit extra pace, if Aircrawl has to release, it can still happen. But not to be. It is a red round, but only just. And again, Kez, 123.5. The fastest round so far, and a deady 6, ladies and gentlemen. Deady 6 for Kez, who is unstoppable on this map. Unrivaled. Faster than anyone else, but almost half a second. Most points. Unstoppable performance from Kez, propelling PNE Blue to map point against a very stiff challenge. As we are now map point PNE Blue, looking to win the second consecutive map, and although FKX Platinum have put some good points on the board, it might not be enough. If the scoreboard doesn't deceive me, then Lucky Shot is already out of this round. But Yuki and Goro, and Kaz makes a mistake. Kaz makes a rare mistake, he will be out of the round, and Yuki and Goro still have position 1 and 2. This is still anybody's round to play for. If FKX Platinum can take advantage of this, they can actually deny PNE Blue their map point conversion. Yuki and Goro need to defend against a very strong attack from Spider and Aircrawl. They still have a couple of tenths of a second in hand in order to protect themselves. But there's not a lot of room for error, and Goro actually took a very safe line through this 270. Spider goes a little bit wide, but Spider does have a lot of speed, and actually, both players from PNE Blue catching up to the FKX Platinum players. Look at the amount of risk Spider is taking. He wants to convert map point for his team, and look at what Spider is doing. The risk doesn't pay off. Ladies and gentlemen, Yuki and Goro might just complete the defense. Aircrawl now has to play spoiler, but I don't think it is enough, even if he does. Oh my lord, Aircrawl, what a line, but not enough. Yuki with a 123 of his own, and it will be a point. It will be a point for FKX Platinum, denying the first map point conversion from PNE Blue. Despite Lucky Shot's mistake, look at that. That's impressive pace in hand from Yuki and Goro. And now look at this, Goro, 52 points. Almost doing as well as Kez with 55, the 2 carries for their respective teams, and then the remaining 4 players struggling a little bit with mistakes. Spider being the lowest in points, not something I expected to hear today. It is actually both Lucky Shot and Yuki who have done a little bit more than Aircrawl and Spider. But unfortunately, Kez has been doing more than Goro, and it balances out very nicely in this 3v3 format. Second chance at a map point conversion Now for PNE Blue, and that's a mistake, but who is that mistake by? I didn't quite catch it. And my scoreboard seems to be broken. No, that's Yuki, but Kez makes a mistake. Hold up. Might not be over yet. Actually, yes, it is Yuki who is currently ahead of Placerex, ahead of Kez, and Aircrawl has made a bit of a mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have a 6-6 situation on our hands, as it is actually FKX Platinum for holding the reins of this round. Hold the door, map point who? FKX have their backs against the wall, but they will not be daunted whatsoever. They're gonna actually equalize and take it to a deuce. Can this possibly be happening? It is actually only Spider to be competing. And with Kez's mistake and Aircrawl and Spider not being there, Spider would have to make something miraculous happen to defend himself, and he would have to risk so much against Goro and Lucky Shot, and boy, he is risking it. The captain of PNE Blue. Look at this. Pace in hand. What is he doing? It'll be a photo finish between him and Goro, but I think Goro has just beaten him to the finish line. And it will be a blue round. Ladies and gentlemen, 6-6. Final round between FKX Platinum and PNE Blue. And after FKX Platinum were joking in chat that they want 1 point per map, how about they just take one map instead? This is possible. This is still possible. Final round. Whoever wins this one wins map number 2, and the overall match, ladies and gentlemen, has just become a lot more interesting with these late map comeback by FKX Platinum. Everything to play for. 1 round to decide our winner on this map before we head to map number 3, Submersia by Vamos Dakar. Let's see how it's going. Spider makes a mistake. FKX Platinum are looking to ace. Surely this is not happening. PNE Blue are asking, is this a dream? Are we really getting beaten by FKX Platinum? And the answer is yes. Aircrawl and Placerex now have to fight serious offense, but they are doing that. Oh no, Kez. How did he keep it together? He has to release though, and this allows Goro to keep 3rd place while Yuki is shooting into the lead. Only 1.5 of a second behind Daddy One. What is Yuki doing at the end of this map? He wants to win it all for his team. The pace, the legendary pace that we were promised unfolding before our very eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is must-watch NASCAR. This is a spectacle. Lucky Shot, however, that's a significant mistake. That's not something you can afford to do. Is he even going to be able to finish the map? What happens in the end? Did Yuki give up 1st position? I think he might have. Goro makes a mistake and Aircrawl will be overtaking it, and unfortunately, at the end of it all comes undone, and it is Aircrawl with his own 123, and PNE Blue will win map number 2, winning the decisive round. But FKX Platinum, they had that map win in their hands, and they gave it up in the end. Two to 7, 6 to 7, 14 to 8, the score in favor of PNE Blue. Much closer than I expected. FKX can be very happy with their 8 points so far. And now we're heading into a map where anything can happen. Goro equaled Kez in points. 60 points for Kez, 60 points for Goro, the carries for their respective teams. And even though it was actually very balanced in terms of overall points, the last round decided it all. Look at this. Same amount of points, Spider and Lucky Shot. Yuki with 2 more points than Aircrawl, same amount of points between Kez and Goro. What a map, ladies and gentlemen. What a map. A masterclass by Dopamine and a masterclass by all 6 players. Put this on replay. Watch this again. FKX Platinum will be looking at this and saying, this is what we're capable of. We are here in the top 4. We're not going to get blown out of the top 4. We are going to fight with everything we have against the number 1 seed, and they've done an admirable job of that so far. But if they want to actually threaten the impossible, if FKX want to make the dream that nobody expected happen, if FKX Platinum want to reach the grand final of the SNC, if they want to fight for the overall crown, they have to now do even more than that. They have to take it from an admirable effort to winning the map. They can pat themselves on the back, but they should not rest on their laurels. They are still facing a significant disadvantage in terms of overall score. PNE Blue still their match to lose. But you never know what can happen. This map, ladies and gentlemen, Submersia by Vamos Dakar. I need to show this from Panda's perspective. The amount of risk with the outside Ramstein that all players will be taking on this map, these S's where you can lose so much speed, this first corner that you are trying to risk so much, there is every opportunity for them to do something on this map. There is every opportunity for them to regain a lot of points. If PNE slip up a little, and they can, while driving at high pace, FKX Platinum could punish again. FKX Platinum could actually be looking at a good haul of points, because look at this. At the slightest mistake, this map will knock you out. We seen yesterday some players not even being able to finish their rounds. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, PNE Blue is leading, but FKX are putting up a valiant effort, and FKX, their dream is not over yet. It has to be said, their dream is not over. They have one more warm-up to compose themselves, to pick their best 3 players, and to say, we will fight until the end. Ladies and gentlemen, your caster needs to pick up some water, because this is an incredible match. My voice will go dry if I don't take a minute right now. I'll be right back with you when the map begins to cast this incredible semi-final between PNE Blue and FKX Platinum. And ladies and gentlemen, your caster has returned. The spectacle continues. The score currently 14-8 in favor of PNE Blue. Last map, we almost saw the shock of a lifetime. FKX Platinum came back to take it to a decisive round. It was 6-6. PNE Blue clutched it at the end to win map number 2. PNE Blue won map number 1, 7-2. But this map, this is where everything can change. Submersia by Vamos Dakar, possibly the best map in this entire map pack. Possibly the map where everything can turn. We saw yesterday how much this map can punish you when you are taking risks. And to drive at an elite pace, to drive these 118s consistently, you will have to risk everything. These players will have to risk everything, and these players will have to give it their all. FKX have not lost yet. FKX still have something to fight for. FKX still have something to prove. FKX still have a hope at the unthinkable. At a slot in the grand finals, but if they want to make their dream a reality, it has to begin now. The roster for FKX Platinum: Yuki, Casper, and now Lucky Shot subs out, Kanzika subs in. Panda, Aircrawl, and Spider. Kez goes out, Panda subs in, and we are live with round number 1. So much risk at every single turn. You can auto drift in this particular corner if you are not careful, and Panda is out of the round. And look at this. The opportunities that will present themselves to FKX Platinum begin in round number 1. Reminder to everybody, FKX Platinum has actually won the first round on all maps, and it might happen again. Aircrawl is out and Kanzika will overtake him. FKX Platinum, the comeback that they are hoping for and their dream of a grand final still lives, because 3 of their players are occupying the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. Everything still to play for. Only Spider now defending against the swarm of FKX Platinum players behind it, but they still have to consistently finish. They cannot afford to risk too much, lest they give Aircrawl away back into the round. Look at this final corner, lots of risk. You're flirting with disaster on the outside Ramstein. Spider with a 118, a very good time, but it is a blue round, thanks to the consistent collaborative effort of Casper, Yuki, and Kanzika. Aircrawl and Panda making a mistake, and FKX Platinum capitalizing. It is entirely possible for FKX Platinum to keep this up. This is currently 14-9 in favor of PNE Blue after FKX almost won map number 2. It was 6-7 in the end in favor of PNE Blue. But FKX's dreams are not over yet, and they have taken the first round on map number 3. A map where risk is necessary but so incredibly punishing. A map where you cannot afford to miss your timing by a fraction of a second, or you will be in the wall. Your hopes will be dashed. An air crawl showing us the first mistake of the round. Casper, Yuki following very closely. Spider touching the outside. Ramstein loses his speed. Casper and Yuki on the attack. Panda on the defensive. This can be a second FKX Platinum round in a row. This can be the beginning of an incredible comeback. But unfortunately, Casper will be touching the outside. Let's try to see what's happening behind us in the round. Aircole has fallen behind. He is in last place. Kanzika holding on to 5th place valiantly. He wants to not make a mistake in the end because this round, everything's still to play for. Spider will be fighting the decisive battle with Casper for 3rd place. Well, Yuki makes a mistake. Unfortunately, their chances dashed very quickly as Casper is now the only player in 3rd place. If Panda and Spider secure this, it'll be gone with the wind. 118 for Panda, a deady time in its own right, and PNE Blue immediately equalize. Needs to be said that this map, 118 deady times, but to drive that quickly on this map, you have to flirt with disaster. You have to be risking, you have to be giving it everything, and the players may end up ruining that decision. You have to make a decision, drive a little bit more safely, but risk losing some crucial battle. This Division 1, every player has elite pace. Maybe you can't afford to release that one extra time. But if not releasing sends you into the wall and loses your team the round automatically, well, what then? Every corner is a decision. Every corner carries with it so much risk and so much meaning. This is NASCAR at the elite level, and my god, it is beautiful to watch. PNE Blue with the advantage in the early round, but everything still to play for. At any moment, the most unexpected thing can happen on Submersia by Vamos de Car. No such thing as too late for a comeback. No such thing as a finished round before you are in the finish line. At any time, just the slightest loss of concentration, you will be gone. Kanzika slightly behind everybody in terms of pace. Spider is putting on a burner. Look at the pace of everybody in the field. Yuki now fighting back and Casper overtaking. Could this possibly happen? Could FKX Platinum have something happening here? Although Aircrow makes a mistake, so does Yuki, and this is a PNE Blue round. To everyone joining us right now, PNE Blue take a 2-1 lead on this map. The overall score currently 16-9. 16-9 in favor of PNE Blue, and they are making their way to the finals. Not much remaining now between these two teams. FKX, they won the first round on every map we played so far. They won at least one round on every map. But their efforts might be in vain soon, as PNE Blue are racing to the finish line, and they are breaking away once again on this map. Yuki with an early mistake, I believe. If I'm not wrong, he will be out of this round. Okay, perhaps not out of this round, but definitely will require a mistake ahead in order to catch up in a significant way. He does see a mistake, and it is from Panda. May still end up playing spoiler in this round depending on what happens in front of him. Kanzika struggling a little bit with that Division 1 pace. Kanzika, superstar in his own right, at full speed. Not a player to be underestimated by any means, but he couldn't have picked a harder match in NASCAR if he wanted to. Fighting against all the stars of NASCAR, Casper with a decisive effort, but it might just not be enough. A Spider barreling forward into the lead, but Aircroll has made a huge mistake. Panda may still save this round in the end, but it's so close between these two teams. Aircroll will only barely keep it together, 11 to 10 points, and look at this. PNE Blue saving themselves, but only barely. Thanks to the consistency of Spider, who now has 23 points, carrying his team significantly. Aircroll currently with 7 points, the worst so far, not able to put up a time better than 120. He's definitely had the pace, but he hasn't actually finished one so far. And if Spider was having a bit of an off map on map number 2, well, he's not having an off map on map number 3, but the caster curse in full effect. He's going to touch the Ramstein, losing a bit of a tenth of a second. Definitely nothing he can't recover, though. Player of his caliber capable of recovering that lead in the span of just a couple of corners. Just a couple of corners are everything needed to seal your fate on this map. PNE Blue taking the outright pace advantage, looking like an ace so far, but nothing on this map is safe until the final corner, and Panda is out from Daddy 1 pace into the doldrums. And FKX Platinum might be looking at something here because Aircrawl has also slightly touched the inside Ramstein. Now Yuki is in the lead, and I think Kanzika and Kasper are actually doing very well for themselves. This still can be a blue round. In fact, if nothing changes, if Yuki can do a defensive effort, this will be a blue round. With Spider's mistake, it will be a blue round. They have to realize the situation they find themselves in. They have to finish at a consistent level. No room for error. Take advantage of a free point, FKX. You have to do it. Aircrawl with a huge mistake. And what is this, ladies and gentlemen? FKX Platinum. They are going to ace them. It's an ace for FKX Platinum. If you didn't see it with your own eyes, you wouldn't believe it. They take a decisive round. And a round they needed. A round they direly need if they want to keep their hopes alive. Because their hopes can still be dashed at any moment. They are still facing an overall disadvantage. 17 points for PNE, 10 points for FKX. 17 to 10, the overall score. They have to keep trying. They have to fight until the last, but it is no longer enough to simply fight valiantly. They must take the overall lead. FKX now have to find that extra pace they didn't know they had. Might not need to do it this round because Panda's made a huge mistake. Panda's made a huge mistake, and Aircrawl and Spider now have to fight the defensive battle of a lifetime. Aircrawl in particular has to keep Yuki and Kasper at arm's length, or this will be a blue round. But look at the pace Spider is putting up. This is faster than Daddy 1, and Yuki's only 1.5 tenths of a second behind. Are you seeing the pace these players are putting together? This is a spectacle. A feast for the eyes, and he continues to risk like there's no tomorrow. Spider doesn't give a damn. At any time, everything could end, and he doesn't care. He came here to show his best, and it will not work out. And Yuki inherits the lead, and FKX Platinum might inherit the round. Daddy 1 falling apart at the final time of asking, and it is a blue round. It is a blue round, and they equalize. Everything to play for. Everything to play for. Blitza has been kicked from the server. As it seems like both teams have some fans in the server, and Blitza currently is a fan of Team FKX Platinum, and I'm also a fan of what I'm seeing, because this is exactly what they need to be doing. FKX, a team that in the past never made the top 4 of the SNC, a team that in the past, even when their opponents gave them an opportunity, they could throw it away. Not this time. This time, they are ready. And look at how the points have changed. 27 for Kasper, 23 for Yuki, 28 for Spider. Kasper and Yuki have more points on the board than Panda and an almost equal pace. Are you believing this? Panda with a Daddy 1 currently 4th in points. Ladies and gentlemen, this is must-watch NASCAR. FKX Platinum have to keep this going. FKX Platinum have to keep the win streak going. They have to capitalize. PNE Blue, tilt might start setting in. They're driving so fast, but the round's just not coming together for them. This is where FKX have to pounce. This is where FKX have to show that they are an elite team. This is where they show their force. This is where they show that they are worthy of Division 1 and that whoever is waiting for them in the first or third place match should be afraid of them. As Dopamine mentions in the chat, and as I've mentioned before in the analysis of this map, driving this in rounds at a consistent high level, possibly the hardest thing you can ask a player to do in this particular map pack, flirting with disaster at every moment. And now Kanzika is behind, but he takes advantage of Aircrawl's mistake. Kasper, however, has made a mistake. Kanzika barely staying alive. What is happening at the front of the pack? Yuki can snipe them. Yuki can snipe them. If he manages to finish this round in first place, it can still all come undone for PNE. But Spider with the clutch. And it will be a red round. But only by 400ths of a second. Look at what Spider has to do to keep his team in it. Only 1 point. Everything. PNE Blue are defending against this attack barely. Aircroll 14 points, below Kanzika's 19 points. Are you believing this? 2 consecutive maps where it's not gone that well for him. He needs to find his consistency. He needs to do this. Otherwise, it's not looking that good. But so far, PNE have done enough. They still carry a huge lead in the overall standings. And so far, they have managed to keep FKX Platinum at arm's reach. But this is such a good match. FKX Platinum proving us proud, and look at this. That's a mistake from Spider. Spider's gone from the round. And Ericle's actually behind. FKX Platinum might be able to equalize, and Ericle's made a huge mistake. This is the opportunity of a century. FKX Platinum, however, they need to realize the situation they find themselves in. No trolling now. No flexing with your times. Convert this point. Play it safe. Yuki, small mistake, but it's not gonna cost him enough, and Panda can finish first all he wants. FKX Platinum have done enough. And they are picking the perfect balance of risk and reward. Look at the points between their players. 29, 28, and 19. They have done the right thing. They're approaching this map properly in a tactical way, and this is actually enabling them to fight against PNE Blue in a serious way. Oh no, Yuki, no. You can't make mistakes that serious when you are leading around by that much. He will reach the finish line because there were huge mistakes from PNE Blue. It will be an equalizing round, but that got a little bit hairy at the end. As that could have very well been a little bit different. Blitzen no longer allowed to talk in the server. Because the match is serious. You can feel the stress that all of the players are experiencing right now. I am stressed just watching, ladies and gentlemen. I am stressed just trying to do this match justice. Because this is incredible. 2 maps in a row now where FKX Platinum have fought round for round with PNE Blue. Regardless of whether it's mistakes by PNE Blue or incredible pace by FKX Platinum, they've shown a bit of both tonight, and Ericle's made a mistake. Not again. Surely not again. Surely Panda and Spider can show us the elite level performance we were promised. Surely they're not going to make a huge mistake. Panda flirting with disaster. The outside Ramstein almost spelling disaster for him. Blitzer will finally leave. FKX Platinum have lost one of their biggest supporters inside the server, and so far Spider and Panda doing just enough for themselves. And Spider again on a deady 1 pace. What is this man made of? But look at this. Why are there 4 players within a tenth of a second of a lap that is going by deady 1? Are you watching this? Why are they risking this much in rounds mode? They don't give a damn what anybody thinks. They don't give a damn what anybody says. In the end, Spider might get sniped. Wait a minute. That might be a round deciding snipe. Not quite. Not to be. Spider finishing 300ths of a second of Yuki is what saved it in the end. This could have actually been an FKX Platinum round. PNE Blue stay alive, but at what cost? And how close is it between these 2 teams? Words cannot do this justice. Spider and Casper equal on 39 points. Yuki and Panda equal on 34 points. If I told you this was gonna happen before this evening, would you believe me? Would you believe me that Yuki would be equal on points with Panda, that Casper would be equal on points with Spider, while Kanzika would be beating Aircroll? I can't believe it. But still, somehow, it's just not enough to win the map. PNE Blue keep clutching out of thin air. The point total doesn't make any sense with the score. PNE Blue have done enough, and at the end of it all, I think it might be the end. But Ericle's made a mistake, so let's see if this round is actually still something to play for. Look at the pace Yuki's putting up. Panda's 700ths of a second behind his own Daddy 1, and Yuki is literally right next to him. Yuki is driving a top 5 Daddy right here. Casper is only 1/10 of a second behind them all. 4 players risking like they're on a train server, and they're doing it in live rounds. This is the semi-final they came to play, and now Spider will be falling behind. This might just be a blue round. Spider's mistake in the end. Casper and Yuki will both snipe them, and I think this is a blue round. FKX Platinum equalize again. It's 5-5. Look at the level. Look at the performance. Casper on top with points. On top with points while being the 5th person in terms of raw personal best. First in points. Erkl continuing to have a bad day. Only 18 points for his team, and FKX Platinum at this rate might actually win the map. They might still have something to play for on the last one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought PNE Blue was going to have a free pass to the finals, check your clocks. What time is it? It's FKX Platinum o'clock. It's clutch time, and in clutch time, it is actually FKX who have clutched. And again, 2 mistakes from PNE and Yuki and Kanzaka right there. What am I watching? FKX Platinum could be taking the lead. They are in position to take the lead of the map, and suddenly the lead that PNE Blue had could still be reduced. FKX Platinum could still be playing for a win on map number 4, ladies and gentlemen. I am losing my mind. What are PNE Blue doing? No, Kanzaka. He makes his first serious mistake. He's actually been putting up very respectable points on the board for his team. But it might not be enough. Can Casper maybe do a late round snipe? He would have to make he would have to see a mistake from Aircroll, and it will actually be a red round, but only just. Only just. Kanzaka's mistake ends up costing them. It's by 1 point. But it is PNE Blue who reach map point first. Wow. Just wow. The level of action on the past 2 maps has been unspeakable. I haven't watched this close of a match in the top 4. I haven't had the pleasure to cast it in years. Surely we're not going to see the same thing again 2 maps in a row where FKX Platinum forced a decisive round. All of the players except one, as Dopamine points out, set up a 118, and Kanzaka, the full speed player, still puts up more points than Aircroll. But right now it's not looking very good, as Panda and Spider are off to a lead. Aircroll is catching up, and I think Yuki might have made a significant mistake in the beginning. At the first time of asking, PNE Blue are looking to convert their map point, and this time they won't lose anyone. Caster Curse of the evening, number 2. Aircroll is gone. But Kanzaka and Casper are still fighting an uphill battle because of Yuki's mistake. It will still be definitely an uphill battle, but look at this. What is this now? Kanzaka full speed. It's in his name and it's in the game because he is trying to catch up. He's doing his damnedest to keep it together with stars with NASCAR. If this isn't a multi-talented driver, I don't know who is. Unfortunately though, slight misjudgment of line means that Aircroll will be recovering, and Aircroll recovers, and in the end of it all, surely this doesn't end with a PNE Blue ace. Surely not on a map where they've made like 15 different mistakes. But it is, and PNE Blue secure this map in an ace! 7-5. And we are just very quickly going to calculate the scores. To see what the overall standings are. I believe that is over. 21-13. Unfortunately, with the way this map ends, the lead is insurmountable. And it is PNE Blue who have qualified to the grand final of the SNC 2024. But what a match it has been. And look at what FKX Platinum have done. If I were a PNE Blue member of any of these maps, I would have been afraid. Afraid for my life. Panda with 52 points, Casper with 49, Spider with 48, Yuki with 45, Kanzaka beating Aircroll 31 points to 26. Can you believe this? Could you believe before this evening that FKX Platinum could put up this kind of a match? I didn't believe it, and I was proven wrong. As they have almost taken it the distance on 2 consecutive maps. And this is the final map, Pilgrimage by Ronig. A test of technique. A map with a myriad of banked corners that need to be taken properly, preserving the maximum speed in order to take the most heading into the rest of the lap. Plenty of opportunities to lose speed. And now some updates in the chat as well, as I believe it is Power Rangers who won to set up a finals clash with PNE Blue. I believe the third place match will then be FKX Platinum versus Storm Chasers. PNE Orange with a very decisive victory. Mutuo, Extreme, and Job putting up a heroic performance. And yeah, I think that what I have to say before we begin casting this fourth map in earnest is that the matches have been of incredible quality so far. What we've seen from every player and every team has been nothing short of commendable, and in Division 4 yesterday and in Division 1 today, so many rounds that went the distance, so many maps that went unexpectedly long. Every team showing off their best selves, vindicating the decision to have every team play at least 2 matches this year. They saw their opportunity, they took it. A tournament for the ages, with so many teams, so many players, all of them making it a memorable affair. And we still have one map of play in this wonderful Division 1 semifinal. PNE Blue leading 21-13. They've already secured their position, but FKX took 13 points over 3 maps. Heading into the evening, I heard Lucky Shot or somebody else in chat say they are looking for 1 point per map. They've taken 2, 6, and 5 respectively. Almost even winning 2 maps against PNE Blue. An effort that has to be commended. And after the match, hopefully we will be able to interview some players from both of these teams to hear what they feel about this match. To hear what their feelings are heading into the grand final and the small final or third place match respectively. In the meantime, I am going to hydrate a little bit, try to keep my voice alive for this final map. Don't go anywhere. We have a 4th map ready to go. We have interviews following afterwards. The action tonight, anything but over. I just might, Rema. Second warm-up on this map. On this map in particular, I think not that much room for risk versus reward as it was on the previous maps. On this map, particularly a test of your technique. A test of your ability to really take these corners in the proper way. Not losing any unnecessary speed as it is difficult to build it, but oh so easy to lose it. Second warm-up coming to an end. And the players are ready for the final map of the evening, Pilgrimage Byronic, starting right now. Map number 4 begins, and let's take a look at who each team has chosen to field for this final map. It will be Panda, Kez, and Spider as Aircroll has left the server and his teammates after securing the victory versus Casper, Yuki, and Kanzaka. Fearsome rosters if ever I've seen one. PNE Blue not one to joke around. Always playing with their strongest lineups. And FKX Platinum definitely deserves to have the strongest lineup brought out against them because they have been on fire this evening, but that fire might be fizzling out a little bit here at the end. Heading into lap number 2, not a whole lot separating the players. Panda actually makes a mistake, but so far Kez and Spider holding on to those first 2 places. And Spider makes a mistake. Hold up, I might have called this one too soon. FKX Platinum might actually take the first round on 4 consecutive maps. A very interesting fact from this seminal match. As unless Yuki makes a significant mistake in the end, it will actually be a blue round regardless of what Kez has to say about it. Kez, however, putting up a very respectable poise, only half a second behind Daddy 1. Curiously, Kez is the person holding Daddy 1 in a 116.9, and it is actually an FKX Platinum round. The first round on this map going in favor of FKX, so now on 4 consecutive maps, FKX have taken the first point. immediately coming to play, not taking a lot of time to warm up. And PNE Blue, well, after tonight, they might want to think about showing up a little bit more warmed up, because if they lose the first round every map against Power Rangers, they might not have such an easy time of it. Into round number 2 we go. As we also see, so Kez with a deady time, very impressive. And Kez is also the person to set the fastest time out of every player on this map, so we've already seen him on one map this evening doing unrivaled things. That was map number 2. It was Voyager by Dopamine, and I think he likes this one as well. Unfortunately, they've lost Panda. And as soon as you like, if Casper, Kanzika, and Yuki, they're all attacking Spider, and they're actually making that attack stick, so even though Kez is again putting up a great carry performance, unless Spider has something to say about this, it's going to be an FKX Platinum round again. And FKX Platinum looking to score points until the very end. Valiant in defeat in a way that no previous FKX team has been. How much this team has grown, it needs to be said. FKX Platinum growing so much as a team, as an organization, but unfortunately with Kanzika's mistake, the round again falling in favor of PNE Blue. FKX always winning the first round, but always losing the second round, and that's not going to change because Spider will, in the end, fight Kasparov to the finish line with a slightly better line, snipe him at the end. Kez and Spider secure it, and in the end, despite Panda's mistake, it is a round for PNE Blue. Quick equalizer, and we will see what happens. As Kez wins 2 consecutive rounds, and 2 consecutive rounds at 117.3. Absolutely fearsome level of performance from this legend of NASCAR. Power Rangers need to pay good attention, because if Kez is informed, they are going to have their work cut out for them. Rest of PNE Blue, however, perhaps not in the best form, as we've seen Spider and Aircole struggle on some maps individually. We've seen all PNE Blue players really have a little bit of an off map every now and then. They will have to polish that if they want to face Power Rangers and win. But so far so good. They're going to take this match at face value, take another week to prepare for the final map pack. Kez leading a third consecutive round was actually driving at steady 1 pace up until this corner, and still actually Yuki and Kez are headed into lap number 2, almost a steady 1 pace. Look at what they're doing, now giving up a little bit of pace because they're risking a little bit less in live rounds than they would on their train server. But surprisingly, this round actually everything still to play for, because Panda's actually made a significant mistake and Kanzika has benefited from it. Now Spider has to fight the defense against Yuki in order to secure this round for his team. Casper has to complete a snipe, and actually the opportunity presents itself. Look at the speed Casper's carrying. Spider, however, reins it in a little bit better, has a bit of a better control of his line, and in the end, Spider will not be sniped, and PNE Blue secured a round. Despite the valiant efforts, it has to be said, of Yuki and Casper. Not to be, PNE Blue win the round. And Kez wins 3 consecutive rounds. 172, 117-3, 117-3. This guy is unstoppable. When he is dialed in on a map he likes, he is absolutely fierce. A force to be reckoned with, and a player that nobody else has been able to match so far. Absolutely nobody. And he will need that kind of performance if he wants to win the grand final, which he will be playing in a week's time. Encouraging signs for PNE Blue heading into that match, because we all know even the best players are prone to tilting every now and then, but not looking to be the case for Kez this year. All players very close to each other on this map again. A test of technique. All of the Division 1 players know what that technique is, and now Spider makes a mistake, Kez makes a mistake, Casper makes a mistake, 3 of them losing it into the transition, but it is actually, I think, FKX Platinum who come out with a slight advantage, and if Yuki's actually able to complete the overtake on Panda, this might still be a blue round. Everything to play for. They are not letting anything slip. They are not giving PNE Blue any free passes with comical mistakes. This is a completely different FKX team from what we saw just a couple of years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it. This is a team reborn, and right now it's looking like they will secure this round, because Kanzika is actually keeping himself ahead of Kez, and he will finish ahead of Kez, and it will be a blue round. FKX Platinum equalized 2-2. Kez now with the first mistake, and immediately FKX Platinum have 2 players ready to capitalize, and even though Panda drives an incredible pace, it is not enough to defend his team. Spider's mistake unfortunately condemning him. And look at this now, Yuki Casper 15 and 14 points, Spider and Panda 12 and 11. If I said that at the beginning of the evening, you would tell me I was a liar, and I was wishfully thinking, well, look at how the tables have turned. Kez, however, despite just 1 bad round, still class of the field on this map, both in terms of pace and in terms of overall consistency. We're headed into round number 5. The match, of course, long since been decided, but points still to be played for, and FKX do one better on their promise to get more than 1 point on every map, because they've done so successfully now. At least 2 points on every map for FKX Platinum. Done quite well for themselves, and almost took PNE Blue the distance, unfortunately not to be. The first map a little bit too lopsided for that to seriously happen, as now all players seem to be risking quite a lot, and Kez, that risk will be his undoing, and Casper inherits the lead. Might still be a blue round, because actually, I think Yuki might overtake him, and it is in fact looking like a blue round. Ladies and gentlemen, even in the dying moments, FKX Platinum are going to take every point they can. They are going to make themselves look fearsome ahead of their 3rd place match against Storm Chasers. Not a team to be underestimated by any means, and they will take this one. Or will they actually? Spider completes a last-minute snipe, and no, actually. It unravels at the end. Because of the snipe at the end, it will be lost, and PNE Blue get the rounds. Spider sniping Casper. Unfortunate in the end. Still, however, a very well-fought round between the 2 teams, nothing really to separate them. Although PNE has slightly better overall pace, definitely FKX have been able to take the opportunities that presented themselves to them, as PNE Blue have given them quite a few opportunities tonight. It is very encouraging to see that they are capable of capitalizing, the mark of a truly great team. Not letting themselves be taken easily, taken lightly. Round number 6 unfolding before us, and it is, I believe, Yuki who's made a bit of a mistake, Kanzika who's a little bit behind, so now PNE Blue holding the reins very, very firmly indeed, and Casper the only one defending. Casper eats a caster curse. PNE Blue inherit the lead. Unfortunate, caster curses tonight, 3 or 4 of them definitely making their way into the repertoire. A little bit unfortunate, but PNE Blue looking to take their 4th round in a very impressive team effort, and they will secure an ace! 117.3 for 2 players, 117.4 from Panda. Look at this round. God damn, PNE Blue, now that's a round and a half, if I have to say so myself. Let's just take a look at the Daddies to see what level that is. That is Daddy 15 to 20 level from 3 players in a live round. Absolutely spectacular. And maybe we will also get a PNE Blue player interview. I've told them I want some, because I don't think any PNE Blue player has actually interviewed for us yet. So stay tuned afterwards. We will be in the waiting room hearing from the FKX Platinum and PNE Blue players if they are interested. We, however, still have a map to finish, and let's see if FKX Platinum can snipe a couple more points. Panda will make a mistake, but I think one of the FKX players is also nowhere to be found. I believe that is No, actually, my eyes deceive me. It is actually FKX who are the model of consistency, and it is actually PNE who have dropped the ball, and right now it's looking like a very solid FKX Platinum round. And if I've seen them tonight, I know they can convert it. Kez, however, not to be taken lightly. Kez might still have something to say about that. Kez is making an incredible offensive drive. Fastest player on this map, and he's proving why that reputation is necessary as he overtakes Kanzika, keeps Yuki behind, and now looking forward to see Casper, but Spider's made a mistake. FKX Platinum inheriting the lead of the round. Very possible for them to finish. Casper just needs to navigate one corner. Oh no, that was a release and a half, but it will be enough as Spider and Aircrawl both make mistakes, and FKX Platinum sniping another point, adding to their tally. Doing very well for themselves indeed. And honestly, look at the points tally. It needs to be said, is the server lagging or am I lagging? Yeah, so it seems like the server's lagging a little bit, and the Panda has crashed, which means we will be pausing the match. This round will not be taking place. And here we can take a look at the points tally. And here, I want you to pay attention to the pace of the players. 117.2, 117.6, 117.3, 117.8, 0.5, 0.4. All players with 117s and at least 4 players with elite deadly level times. In fact, I think that's 5 players who have a deadly level time in live rounds. 5 out of 6 players. This is the semi-final. Incredibly impressive for everybody. And I believe the round has been cancelled. Panda back in the server, but Panda's on the blue team. Hello? Panda's on the wrong team. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is going on? Am I... Now wait just a goddamn minute. Panda is currently a double agent playing against his own team. As ladies and gentlemen, this is a 4 versus 2. A 4 versus 2 for FKX Platinum. And my word, FKX Platinum are going to use their special card to bring an extra player on the table in order to take a point. It does seem like Panda is a double agent, and he will win the round for... he will win the round for FKX. He will win the round for FKX Platinum. And that mistake will very quickly be corrected. Oh well, we've seen everything tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen FKX players playing like PNE players, we've seen PNE players playing like FKX players, and we've seen PNE players playing for FKX. We've seen everything. Quite literally everything. And yeah, now that we've sorted out that little kerfuffle, we will be completing the map normally. So the score that we are resuming from is 3-4. As now the teams are sorted and we are back. We are back into the live round. We will correct the scores later if necessary as Spider ends the round. And we're back. Yeah, so Panda should have DNF, and according to the positions, it would have actually been a round for FKX, so it will be counted as such, and we are resuming this map from a 4-4 scoreline. So FKX, still with everything to play for. They weren't able to win map number 2, even though they forced a decisive round. They were almost winning map number 3 until PNE rallied at the end, and who knows, maybe FKX are actually going to win a map as a consolation prize. Yet to be seen what's going to happen. We are moving now into round number 9 after a little bit of a technical delay. Let's see very quickly what is happening here. Heading now into lap number 2, PNE definitely with an advantage, but a super high level round from all players. Look at how close they are to Daddy 1. 5 players actually playing within 3/10 of a second from Daddy 1. Yuki now taking the advantage, and look at this. Casper and Yuki blitzing into good positions. This round, I'm sorry, still looking like it's possible for FKX Platinum, but Yuki has to do well, and unfortunately, does that even count as a caster curse if it was preemptive? Mistakes from both players. And I think PNE Blue unfortunately inherit an advantage, but no! Caster curse number 2 in a single round. Can I stop? I'm not entirely sure. It is a red round in the end, but boy, that was a mess in lap number 2 after what seemed a very promising start. And now 5-4 to lead for PNE Blue. 2 more points required for them to seal the match with all 4 map wins. But these map wins not as close as they might have liked. Certainly not as close as it could have been going into this evening. But FKX Platinum once again surprising in a very positive way with their maturity, with their pace, with their consistency, with their teamwork and team spirit. An admirable battle if I've seen one. Kanzika unfortunately a little bit behind at this point. PNE players driving very, very quickly now. That little mental break, all they needed to bring themselves back into the map, and now they will be looking forward to claiming this one for themselves. Heading into lap number 2, Yuki the only one currently resisting as Kez was on Daddy 1 pace. Unfortunately will fall behind, doesn't manage to navigate the first turn very well. Pace ruined, but result unchanged, as PNE still has players in the lead. If we take a look at what Kez is currently doing, he seems to have fallen behind. He's actually falling behind a lot, and actually Kanzika might still catch up by the end, and Casper and Yuki are actually making a late round resurgence. Spider touching the inside Ramstein, touching the outside Ramstein, looking so unstable at the end, but Yuki will not be able to complete the snipe, and neither will Casper. It is a red round in the end. Map point, PNE Blue. And we'll see what the score is at the end, as this could be the final round of it all. We will take a look at the overall score when it reaches its conclusion, as FKX still able to bring it back, and they actually have brought it back on multiple occasions. They even forced a decisive round by bringing it to 6-6 on map number 2. Will they be able to do so here? Are they going to be able to take advantage of maybe some slips by PNE? Unfortunately, not to be the case. Yuki now, with a mistake, will be dropping away, as we will keep track of the score a little bit later, as we have a round to keep track of, but it's not looking good. PNE Blue look like a team possessed right now. They have had enough. They've had enough of making little slip-ups, mess-ups. They are no longer playing around. They have won the match even before this map, but they're looking to seal it quickly and not allow anything, as that almost looked like somebody flew away, but not to be the case. All 3 players lapping at a very good pace, and this will be the end of it all unless a miracle were to transpire at the end. Doesn't look likely to be the case. Only 1 corner separating the 3 players of PNE Blue from finishing off their opponents with an ace, and it will be ace PNE Blue, match PNE Blue, and what was that pace? 1:17.0 Kez and Panda. What the hell was that final round? If I've counted correctly, it should be 28-17, the final score of the match in favor of PNE Blue. And there we go. The players are now rejoining us in the stream. What a well-fought match from both teams. I think FKX Platinum exceeding every expectation, taking the fight to PNE Blue, but ultimately just didn't have what they needed to take it over the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, the night isn't over. Right now, we still have one final thing left to do before the stream ends for this evening. We have some interviews to do, so if any players of FKX Platinum, if any players of PNE Blue want to join me, I will be waiting now in the waiting room channel in the NASCAR Discord. Feel free to join me and share your thoughts on this amazing match we just saw. And I think some finishing thoughts from yours truly. Certainly a pleasant surprise from FKX Platinum, putting up a huge haul of points. Such a well-fought match at every turn, showing elite pace and elite consistency at turns, and more importantly, taking advantage of the opportunities that were presented to them. Something that previous FKX teams were not as good at. But this time they've done much better. This time they've done well, and Storm Chasers could be looking at a quite significant match facing them in the third place match. Rema, of course, feel free. You can join whenever you'd like, Rema, and
There we go.
Here we go. Everybody say hello to my co-streamer, to the best voice of Trackmania, Remavix here.
That's some claim to make. I disagree. I think the pleasure is mine. Yeah, it was nice. We are. I'm still alive, but we were just watching your stream on my stream as well, and it was nice to catch that banger of a match. I thought we had some insane matches. Power Rangers against Storm Chasers was also great to witness. And I think this match that you just casted was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that if you, like I said on many occasions throughout the match, if you told me at the beginning of the evening that I would be, reciting that Yuki has more points than a PNE Blue player, that Casper's fighting with Kez for first place on the map, I would have thought I was dreaming, but they really delivered. Unfortunately, the first map, a blowout in favor of PNE Blue, and just when it came to taking it the distance, they just couldn't find that little bit of extra pace and consistency needed to really punish PNE Blue. And we have somebody with us. That was Adept making a little bit of a guest appearance, but leaves the call immediately. If any players from the matches tonight would like to be interviewed, please, by all means, join us here. We'd be happy to hear your thoughts on the amazing NASCAR action we've just seen before we cap it all off for this evening.
That would be nice. Join in, join in. Always nice to hear from the players themselves. And we've been talking a lot already, so give us a break, guys.
That is true. I am gonna lose my voice casting every evening when the matches are this spectacular, when there's just so much to get excited about.
Yeah.
The players really giving us so much reason to get excited, and I'm really glad. I'm so happy that both of the matches in Division 1 were very good. I'm very happy that the Division 4 match yesterday was a banger in its own right.
Yeah, nice. That was also that was good. I think the Div 5 match that I had was also nice to watch. So across the board on the SNC 2024, we had great action. Super nice to see. Yeah. Can't wait for next weekend already, but it's not over yet. We have tomorrow still.
We do have tomorrow, that is correct. So as a reminder to those of you who are not familiar with the streaming schedule, as we have an interview lined up with Casper as soon as I announce the matches for tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow at 9 p.m, Finest Killing Xenon versus Fresh Fruits on Remavix stream, and DGF versus FKX Gold on my stream. Be sure to tune in. And now, we have an absolute legend in the chat with us. Please welcome Casper. How are you feeling?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, good evening. Relief, I would have to say. Honestly, I didn't think we would score 17 points, so I would say it's a win for FKX Platinum.
I think so too. I remember Lucky Shot or somebody else coming to the stream at the beginning saying in chat we're looking for a point per map, but already on the first one, you made it 2-2 before it unfortunately didn't go your way, and you kept it close until the very end on the remaining maps. What was the atmosphere like in the team? when you saw that you were competitive, did it motivate you to go even further?
If I can speak for the whole team, I think they were motivated so much because they thought that PNE Blue are able to do mistakes as everyone in this game. So yeah, we just try more and more, and yeah, unfortunately, it didn't work for us. But we showed PNE Blue that we wouldn't give them free win. They had to try hard as well.
Exactly, I think that's very much the case because PNE Blue ended up having to set some really impressive times to actually end up beating you in the end. Your third place match will be against Team Storm Chasers. What are your thoughts on that matchup? Now that you've taken 17 points from PNE Blue, how many points do you think you're going to be able to take from Storm Chasers? Do you think that there is a possibility for you to actually take the last podium spot of the SNC?
Ooh, that would be huge if we take third place. It after tonight's performance, I think everything is possible. Really, like I think it's going to be a really close match.
I
We
think
trained hard, and we are going to train even more harder for Storm Chasers. So yeah, it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think everybody in your team today took turns showing elite pace, elite consistency, and you really look like a team reborn from 2021 and 2022. When you were presented with opportunities, you took them. It was uh, it was a joyful thing to watch. Maybe Rayma can also chime in with a question.
Yeah, I was thinking, just winding back a little bit on the match against PNE Blue here, how you prepared for something like this, and also for Storm Chasers. Did you get together, like hype up the morale a little bit, or are you just soloing away in the training server? What did you do?
So first of all, we had to prepare our lineup very early, so we know which players are going to play which map, and
Mm,
this really helped us. So we divided our players into every match, like Kansika, Goro, me, and Lucky played two maps, and we know that Yuki is probably the best of all of us from FKX Platinum, so he played all the four maps. And yeah, he did pretty well. All of us did pretty well. We trained the whole week. The maps we only had to play tonight. So yeah, that was a crucial moment for us to just to prepare the lineup. I
nice.
think.
Yeah, I think that showed. That was very. That's a nice take. Will you do the same now? So you will divide the lineups already for the upcoming Mac pack, like
Yeah, I
next
think so.
weekend, and then start training.
I think we divided the maps on Wednesday, I think. So now we have to
Okay.
do it a bit earlier, maybe 1 or 2 days earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think I can talk for all the FKX Platinum guys that we really want the third place and we are going for it.
And
Nice.
Casper, one final question from me to round out this interview. Probably watching us right now and now playing for Team Storm Chasers are some players that used to be on FKX themselves. What is your message to Devil, who is now playing for Storm Chasers instead of FKX? Do you maybe have something special to say to him ahead of your third place match?
uh, we were pursuing Devil to come to FKX and we would take easy third place in my opinion. And he didn't want to. He wanted to try with the new blood, and he chosen over us focus with Raptor. So hopefully it will be a good decision from him. Um, but as he could see, we are still capable of putting some great performance, and I'm really looking forward for the match against him.
And
I know he's going to be probably like top, like always the first or second or first on each map. But yeah, mm, the difference is going to be in the middle of the pack, I think, and that
ex-
will be the crucial.
yeah, exactly. I'm very much looking forward to see what you can bring together. And we have another absolute menace from your team with us on the call right now.
Hey,
Everybody,
Goro, hello.
here is Goro. Say hi to the stream and tell us how you feel about tonight. How did you feel about taking on PNE Blue, and are you satisfied with your performance tonight?
Hi everyone. So, I mean, it was a bit of a weird batch for me because I think the first map was my best map, but I struggled a lot. Had a tough time to start my match and start getting great ones. But on the second map, fortunately, I played well. I think the all the team played well, and once we finished the first map, we started having a real match, I think, and we showed everyone that we can keep up with the best team in NASCAR right now.
Exactly. And what I wanted to ask for a long time, and I was hoping I would get an interview for this. Uh, for some people, many people, and even your teammates have been shouting you out as the most improved player of the tournament, as an absolute superstar for FKX Platinum. How does it feel, to return to competition after such a long time, after debuting with energy in what feels like a century ago? Now coming back and playing with the very best, being competitive with the very best, how does that feel? How did you manage to make this comeback happen?
Yeah, honestly, it feels great. I didn't expect to play that well since I barely played in the last 2 years. I just came back like 2 weeks before SNC to warm up a bit and try to get my pace back. But overall, I feel like I'm playing pretty well, just struggling a bit with consistency at the moment. But I think I'll do better next week, hopefully.
Exactly. And I guess my final question, you find yourself in a very special position. You're taking FKX to their highest finishing position in the SNC no matter what, but more importantly, you are fighting for a spot on the podium for a third place. What would that mean for you personally? Third place in the SNC, something most players never got the chance to compete for in their careers.
Yeah, actually, I've played quite a bit of SNC right now with no FKX 2 times, Energy 2 times, and before even with FCS. And the third place will be by far my best performance on SNC. So I'll be very happy with the fourth place. So let's make it happen next week.
I wish you the absolute best of luck. If today is anything to go by, I know that you will do very, very well. If Rema has an extra question, this is a great time. Otherwise, we still have more people lined up in the call, Mew and Supersonic, waiting to take their turn with us.
I'm absolutely fine. Good questions, Deft. And Goro, I'm very impressed that you can just sit down 2 weeks before an SNC, start training, and show up in the form that you are. So, yeah, very nice. Good to hear from you, and thanks for joining the interview here.
Thanks.
Yeah, I wish you both, Casper, Goro, the best of luck, and we will be seeing you next week on the stream. Definitely, we will be streaming the grand final and small final, no matter what. And now, moving on to a match that unfortunately wasn't caught on stream because of scheduling, PNE Orange versus Slow Noobs Space NASCAR Cowboys. Forgive me, there are so many teams called SNC, I'm starting to lose track which is which. Mew, if you're with us right now, how are you doing, my man? How did the match go for you?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Just, going through the match, just take it easy and just, getting through what I need to do, the aim of the game, and the whole team needs to prepare for it. And we were each map, just got to make sure our heads upright for this. So, and that's what we play to do. So,
And I believe the result of the match was very decisive. I believe
yeah,
somebody in chat said was
28-3 it was. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, obviously the team. I'm disappointed I didn't see Liffey because he was in the team with Space NASCAR Cowboys, but he wasn't there. So, but it would have been nice and being seen there, and maybe a bit of fun match would have been. But oh well, it was nice to see Engel. He's a good track mate player. He's still good. Andrew, he's really good, and also seeing Vamos. The host of tournaments, so it was nice to see iconic names there. So yeah.
Exactly. Ever respectful to his opposition, but he doesn't show them any mercy on the server. That's your Mew for you. What I was going to ask is now you have made your way to the Division 2 finals as expected, and I believe who will be waiting for you there? Have we played the other Division 2 match? I just very quickly
No,
need
you will stream that tomorrow, I think.
Yep,
Yes,
Mr. Mine.
actually, DGF versus FKX Gold. So
Yeah.
maybe your
That's
thoughts
correct.
ahead of that match. Who do you think is going to win it and meet you in the final of Division 2?
If I put my guess, my percentage, I would say 70% DGF and 30% FKX Gold. That's my percentage.
Is there
Hot take.
any player in particular on DGF that you want to shout out? What's the main reason you think they will win so decisively?
I think I know who you're talking about.
Well, we
Here's
both
with
know,
K.
but
Here's with K, doesn't it? Kush, of course. He's a brilliant player. He's really fast. He is Kush. Like, fair play to him, especially on the NASCAR maps. The time attack ones where he got, was it second in the time attack one on one of flat maps.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
exactly. Always a super impressive player, already
he
dating
is.
back to his days on the various Bros and FRT teams, but now he has become a real superstar capable of carrying his
Yeah.
team. And what do you think, if you do meet DGF in the finals of Division 2, how would you rate the chances of PNE Orange against them? Do you think that
Ah,
the Division 2 crown is yours to take, that you just missed out on Division 1 by technicality, or
uh,
do you think it
yeah.
might be
Okay. I don't want
a
to talk.
close
I don't
match?
want to talk about that. Especially where I DNF on event one. That's probably why. But anyway, it's all in the past now. Anyway, so yeah, just gotta focus on winning Division Two. That's all you gotta do. Just focus on that. Like in the past, you can't change that. You just gotta move forward and just do the best you can.
Exactly. Very mature
Yeah.
attitude indeed.
Nice.
Rema, if you have something to add.
Yeah, maybe a little bit on preparation for your
Mm-hmm.
side for the match next weekend. We heard from
Uh-huh.
Casper they will divide the teams and see what the roster is. Do you have anything in particular you want to share? How are you going to prepare with PNE Orange for next weekend?
We're just obviously gonna train of what we can. So, obviously explore maps first, and like, pick which ones we're gonna choose, and like you do that map, I do that, blah blah blah, and that's just how we're gonna move forward with, and just see where it leads to, and see how comfortable we are prepared for the next match between DGF or FKS Gold. So yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right, nice. Yeah,
And
that's it.
No worries.
yeah, with that in mind, we do still have one player with us in the call to see if he will also share his experiences from the semifinals of each particular division. We have Supersonic with us after his amazing performance yesterday, taking his team to victory on two incredible map performances that, on that flat map, he was doing 110s himself, the kind of time you would see in Division 1 today. So Supersonic, if you're with us, please unmute yourself and let us know how you felt about yesterday's match.
Thanks for asking that. Thanks for asking. I was late yesterday and I came when you got your microphone off. So my amazing performance was live until today only. I'm looking at the guys that were driving today, just another level. I think I could be only driver number 5 maybe for the reason of somebody have no internet connection or disconnect, then I can join and do something. I want to say that today I'm very proud of the team alone. I mean, Casper, Yuki show something special, Goro as well, but when you were driving in the middle of this fight, I was also watching two other streams, so some tracks I missed. You know that there is the FKX Lightning as well. FKX Take Taxi. Take Taxi was riding at the same time. So my heart is everywhere. Well, piece by pieces and for every part of FKX. So really, Penny do theory much much better. You know it. Looking for P1 and the name like Panda is like Schumacher, maybe Hamilton, and the same level. I really do believe in this. So watching how our guys fighting today, it was like very tough battle, very close battle. So I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, so lots of words of praise for your teammates, obviously, who
Nice.
have done an amazing job. But I think it must be said that what you did yesterday in the match was just a cut above everybody else in the match, possibly a cut above everybody else in the division, with some times that could be compared with Division 1. Now that you have successfully, showed up, carried your team to the division finals, what do you think your chances are in the final of Division 4? Do you think that there is any player left in the division that can match your performance?
There is a small secret about our performance before 50 days, so I can't be very open with you right now. But I would say easy. We have no chance before day 5 to you because there will be a completely different team not that you saw yesterday. And what I want to say, I really want to race with the FKX Gold, for example, my level for sure. I'm aware of that, but I also was sure that I can't do every week the job. I'm 40 years old, so I have a family, I have a job, and I have not much time yet. When something raised inside my soul, raised that I find interest, time, less sleeping, but more racing now. And that's it, guys. That's it. That's why I didn't for the PX Gold appointment. It's too much obligation. And
And there,
our battle versus Red, no, it's just fourth division, but the guys, the Tennessee, for example, was very good. Always was near. Not afraid he's appointed, but I want to say really good, really good. And Nitro, crazy cool. And Red, I think they will give us battle, guys.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice that you still can keep playing like you described the time with the family and stuff, and still being able to join a tournament like this is really respectful. And yeah, that's really nice. I think good stuff.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure. Thank
and
you.
yeah,
Now it's
wrap.
almost 2 p.m., so I am going to go. Thanks for all.
Nice.
And yeah, it
Good
seems
stuff.
that now we've heard from absolutely everyone. And yeah, we've heard from so many players, we've heard some fascinating perspectives, and we've also seen some fascinating action. I don't think we've seen action this close in the top flight of the SNC in a long, long time.
In a long time was insane.
And it's going to be an absolutely spectacular grand final and a third place match. But I think the spectacle will continue everywhere. Obviously, tomorrow we still have 2 matches that we are casting:
Yep.
DGF versus FKX Gold, and I believe Finest Killing Xenon versus which Fruits team? Mega Fruits, Giga Fruits, Hard to
Giga Fruits, I think.
Giga Fruits.
Yeah,
exactly.
because we have Mega Fruits yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, so we still have one evening of matches before us before we swap over to the finals map pack and prepare for the grand finale of the SNC 2024. And from my perspective,
Nice.
at least, it has been an absolute joy. Hopefully that continues next week as well. Thank you to all the players again for playing at such a high level, for sharing your thoughts with us. That'll be all for me for tonight, and I will be seeing you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central European time with the last 2 matches of the semi-final round of division play. Thank you,
Nice.
Rema, also for joining me for the interviews.
Yeah, that was good.
And I'll see you tomorrow and next week. So we're very quickly going to wrap up my stream, raid yours, and that'll be it for the evening. Thank you once again to everyone for all
See you
your
guys.
support.
Bye.
And goodbye.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.